are back. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if we had to take a break or not, but we had a forced break there. And I want to welcome you guys. And of course, we have myself, I'm the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley. We were talking about TCU coming in at number 14, number 13, the two polls. DP, legend. How are you doing tonight? Darryl, Prue?
I'm good, Dale. How you doing? How you doing, Tim?
Doing all right.
We're doing good.
But I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here, man. And Jay West is going to be coming on somehow, sometime. Not sure what's going on, man. But a lot of things happening now. A lot going on this basketball team. Let's just go, Tim. Let's start out with you. And I'm just going to say, give me an overall picture now of what you're seeing with this Mountaineer basketball team. Not TCU, not any of the Big 12. Let's talk just a minute about this Mountaineer basketball team.
No, I think right now they just need to start to gel together. We lost very close games. Field goal percentage and free throw percentage and things like that. Now with Larry being gone and just the whole turmoil, I think we just all need to come together. I mean, there's a lot of things up in the air, and between Darryl and I have talked back and forth as well that we don't understand what transitioned over here the last week. So I think as a team that they just need to get together and see what they can get out of this. I mean, I'm still trying to understand all of this.
I understand. Well, DP, go ahead, man. Give me a quick shot of what the Mountaineers are right now.
Well, the Mountaineers has always been close, and the firing of Larry Harrison didn't make sense because they were close. You lose 2 games by 3. You had a technical at the end of the game. That's a 4-point, 6-point swing. You lose to Kansas. Just didn't have a chance against Kansas, but you're in every game. Before they played Oklahoma was 1-3 in the league, and they were 0-4. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? It was just between one game, and that's how I said before the season. That's how the league's going to be. I told you when it was in the Big East. I was with Georgetown. We was in the top 25. We got knocked out, and we came back. And and now we're in panic mode. Everybody, we're having such a bad year. No, we got a bad stretch. Nobody was talking about this, December 30th. I mean, we was ranked top 25 in the country, which we should have been. Now the league is a little, the league's pretty tough. Some really good teams. This is like 3-4 teams in the top 10, and about 2 more in the top 25. So, and the other teams are close. So, it's just a tough league.
Yeah, Darryl, Big 12 is probably the toughest league I think out there right now.
Well, it sure is. And Jay, go ahead, man. Give me your hit on that.
Sorry for the confusion a couple minutes ago, but glad to be here again.
Hey, something went down. The whole system went kaput. But we're okay. We're back up and running, baby.
But similar to what Prue was just saying, listen, any in-conference game schedule, we 4 out of 5 games, we easily could be 4-1. And basically basketball comes down to who executes better down the stretch of the fourth quarter. I mean, in the last 4 minutes of the game. I think you said you have a clip. This boils down to 2 possessions. We got Mitchell on the block, 7 for 8 on the game. Right. And all you gotta do is give him the ball. He's gonna either score or draw a double team. 1 possession, Emmett shoots a running floater going right hand, and then the next possession, Stevenson shoots a fadeaway 3. That just goes to execution down the stretch of the game. So we're not far off. And I think now with the big decisions we've made as it pertains to affecting the coaching staff, I think a lot of people are making a lot of impromptu decisions that we don't have to. I mean, it's 4. You take 4 possessions from the games, we could be 4-1. Yeah. But that's when you're in a tough league like the Big 12. Every game is gonna come down to late game execution, like we've been talking about, and it reared its ugly head again against Oklahoma.
So I think the WVU fans are grouping the football and the basketball team together, and it's 2 separate entities. They upset how things went, but like this team has been close. You know what I mean? Like Jared said, easily could have been 4-1 and if they played a better game, it could have been 5-0. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like
and Darryl, I gotta agree with both you guys. And I don't know if you saw the press conference with Trey Mitchell, but he says we got too many guys trying to do too much. Yeah. and we got to have one or two guys stand out. And I mean, as we played together, in different times, obviously, but you would always have one standout or two standout players, and we can't force, on the offensive side, the guys have got to stand out individually. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. But like, let's go back when we had a conversation when we played Kansas State, and I told you I was worried about Johnson. He's that difference maker. You know what I mean? Just like TCU has a couple of guys that's different makers. We don't have that guy. We want Mitchell to be. We want Stevens to be. Stevens he's streaky. These games are. Mitchell came from UMass. You're going in an A10, low level A10 to come up to the Big 12. You got to have a whole different. You got to be a whole different animal.
No, I agree.
And really, when you say it's not grouping the Mountaineers in football into basketball, but kind of is the same in that department, because you got two Big 12 conferences that require Big 12 type of players. And when you bring someone in from a lower conference that hasn't battled that, it's not the one game that you have to go up and compete against a Big 12 team. It's the every game that you have to go ahead and compete. It's the constant in. Your best game better be up today and better be up tomorrow, and as sure as heck better been up yesterday, because this is the Big 12, and that's really what required of that. So last thing before we move on to the hiring of DeMar Johnson, tell me what you want to say about the statement with Larry Harrison, and I'm going to go with you, Tim, first.
What can I say about that? I mean, like I said, it's all speculation, and
Larry's not speculating.
You think it's still speculation?
No, as far as if it came down as far as who fired, who fired Larry? Was it the AD? Was it Huggins? Was it we don't know. I mean, and the fact that we've got the new coach in there now. Something was orchestrated on this whole thing. It happened too quick.
Yep.
Jay, go ahead.
I mean, obviously, when we're talking about a major figure in the state, you might have to tiptoe and be politically correct.
Sure.
But I mean, my dad taught me to let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. So we're gonna keep it real. I mean,
I'm sorry. Do what now?
Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay, meaning you stand on your word.
Hey, that's coming from Natchez, Mississippi.
Natchez, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've always had broad shoulders. So, I mean, listen, we can tiptoe around it, but real is real. You don't let go of someone after 24 years.
I agree.
And you're the strongest person in the state. Like, you had something to do about it. And to be honest with you, you don't make a hire within less than a week if it wasn't some cahoots or something already set in stone. Let's just be honest and keep it real. Larry was the
he's a good man.
And it is what it is. It's not fair, but it is what it is. So we don't have to tiptoe around it. I mean, real is real.
No, you're right. But let's get this straight. Yeah, okay.
Right now, I see Darryl just shaking his head.
Yeah.
I want to hear what Darryl has to say.
Well, 1 second, D. Give me this. Just know this. It is Bob Huggins' right to hire and fire who he wants to. Okay? But after 24 years, your point, Jay West, is very well taken. And for no explanation to be given out, DP, go.
He always preaches what? Loyalty and family.
Yeah.
And family got fired. For what?
Yep.
He didn't do nothing wrong. He still probably don't know the reason. I mean, like if it came from wherever it came from, like Jared said, I know Huggins got some of his coaches hired at Division II schools in the state on a phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ren Baker, he can get run out of there too by Hugs. Honestly, you know what I mean? So, this it bothered me because, we all have relationships. They try to change the narrative. Oh, he was the players this, the players that, the players this. I got one for you. So, Jared's boy, Bridges has been, I guess he went on a podcast and killed, Huggy. One of my teammates was at the game, and after the game, went up to Bridges and gave him a hug. After the game, now we know what happened. The kid had a good game. You know what I mean? Like, was it Larry doing it? Because evidently it wasn't Larry, because Larry wouldn't get a kid a hug, the kid wouldn't have hugged him back. If it was him being whatever, towards him, or, ostracizing, whatever, they try to say what happened. I don't know what happened. But, Larry had a relationship with him, even though he left. And did he ruffle some feathers by doing that? You know what I mean? Like, that's the kid had a good game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then you're gone for what? And there's no answer. It's still vague because it's not a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't know. Technically, we don't know, but we have an idea. But it's just an unfortunate situation because, we are advanced ages, and you firing people at advanced ages, can they get another job? You know what I mean? Because you got fired,
Right.
for what?
Okay.
Right.
No,
The only
well.
thing I said last time, and I don't mean to cut you off.
That's right.
I said last week. Once Larry said, and by no means am I under any sanctions or any investigation, that's all I got to hear. Because that means now we're talking about pure basketball decisions. And if you're talking about pure basketball decisions, you can't throw Larry under the bus because he's not the only coach on the staff.
Jared, they were ranked in the top 25 December 30th.
That's my point.
This is January 18th.
Yeah. If Larry would have done something to get in trouble, okay, fire Larry. But he didn't do anything to get in trouble. So I'm no dummy. I know who's got the power. So we know what happened. We can stop tiptoeing around it and just keep it real.
Okay, so let's finish up with this. First of all, let's have Mr. AD, Mr. Athletic Director, Red Baker, come on the show, man. We love to have him. Love to talk to him. I don't even know the guy, so I love to get to meet him, and I think he should be some legends there for Mountaineer Athletics. And the second thing is this: I'm going to say I know Bob Huggins fairly well. Hung with him many times. Worked with him many times. Different situations. I know that. I called him the Bear. I didn't call him Huggy Bear. I called him the Bear because he was the man out in the wilderness that was leading the operation. And it just, for me, for Larry not to know what went down and what went wrong is really disturbing. Something's in the air, guys. We're going to have to wait and see what it is. And that's all what I'm going to stick with and go with that. But
I got to say something, Dale.
Yeah, all right.
His statement that he made as far as Larry, it was scripted. And I don't know if you guys all agree with that, but it was very scripted. So, like I said, I'm not sure what happened here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we don't know yet. I mean, we do in a way, and we kind of. What I'm saying, my disappointment was that Larry still doesn't know why he's released. That's my biggest disappointment. 24 years. I want to know why. What's up, brother?
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
I'm your boy, your brother.
I lost my job at 24 years. I'd be a little pissed off.
Yeah, well, I think we're going there, and I don't want to get it all going because we're going to be positive tonight, and we're going to keep moving on. Again, that invitation out to Ren Baker. Hey, Mountaineer Hardcourt Legends, love to have you on. But when something goes wrong and bad, something good can come out of it. And talk to me here. We're going to start with you, Darryl Prue, talking about, obviously, DeMar Johnson and the hire that they've made. What's his background? What can he bring to the Mountaineers?
Honestly, he has an NBA background. He can help with recruiting. Good guy. I've known him for I know him since he was in high school. Real good guy. He's been living in Ohio over the last few years. I know he's been trying to get in. I think there's a favor from Hugs and a couple other favors that's throughout the years. But at this time, I don't know what he brings. I know he do some development stuff. But I don't know at this point in a year. I don't know because you're getting ready for each game. I don't know. It's kind of hard to in the middle of the year to bring something different.
What about you, Jared?
Once again, he does have an NBA background. Obviously, he's close with Hugs, so he has a good relationship with Hugs. I'm with Prue. In the future, from a recruitment standpoint, he might help. He might be able to get into some different rooms. As of this year, he can do nothing because once Prue, like Prue said, every 1 or 2 days you're practicing, getting ready for the next game. He can't really come in and voice his opinion because there's going to be some guys looking side-eyed because they don't know what's really going on. And all he can come in and do is try to be positive and bring some energy to practice and some morale to the team. Don't try to overstep his boundaries. Don't try to step on any toes. There's nothing he really can do. To be honest with you, the only person that really can bridge this gap right now is Hugs. This is going to have to be his best mental coaching performance he's ever had because he's going to have to bring the morale up, bring guys together, have guys buy in. Because right now there's a lack of trust, probably, I'm going to imagine. He's going to have guys buy in. But in the future, he obviously some young blood, some new blood, a new voice, maybe some new recruitment. But as for this year, nothing much really, from my standpoint.
Tim?
Let's see. Let's call it the dating period as far as you getting to know who this coach is. What is he going to bring to the table, number one? Number two, as far as the recruiting side of it, and I've talked back and forth with Darryl on this too. I mean, going back to the recruiting process back in as far as the DC and Baltimore side of it, what can he bring? Because there's a lot of talent coming out of these areas as far as what can be brought in, So it's basically you got a new coach brought in the middle of the season. It's going to be tough for a lot of these players to, get to know this guy. I mean, I don't know his background. I really don't. I mean, is he, as far as coaching on the side of the forward side, center side, or guard side? I'm not sure what his background is.
Well, he's a guard guy, right? He was 6'9" guard.
Wing.
Played 17 years? Yeah, wing. He's got the credentials to say, hey, I paid my dues now. And I think that, if you're going to go with a guy like that, at least he's well liked and 17 years in. He's got a ton of credibility in that department. Don't know what his connections are like Darryl down there in DC. Don't have any idea. Don't know what AAU. Don't understand at all for that, where he's at. But we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm going to say something right now on your podcast here. They should have hired Darryl.
Okay. Well, DP, hey, listen, I would have backed that one too. And no offense to DeMar, because I don't know you, man, and welcome aboard to WVU. But yeah, DP's my guy right there, man. I don't know. Or hey, you got Jay West too talking about those guards, man. So it's all about that, and who knows what's going to happen down the line here. We got to fight through this Big 12 tough time, the losing record. We got to get back to the winning record, see where it's at. You got to fight to this middle part and letting these other distractions get at the team, get at Mountaineer Nation, because they're all listening to the team, or listening to the outside. We know that the fans do affect the players nowadays. We know that through social media. So what we have to do is try to focus. They have to win a game or two just to feel good about themselves. And if they could go ahead and do that, it would certainly help. And with that being said, so Jay West, Mountaineer shot 56% from the floor. Problem is OU shot 55. They shot, 46% from three-point. Problem is OU shot 45. Okay? Here's the real problem. Mountaineer shot 50% from the foul line. OU shot 72%. And Hugs is talking about, we're doing the 90% drill. If you miss, you run. What can they do? You're a guy that has shot a lot of free throws in your time, and you're still coaching it. What can you do to improve your free throws?
I mean, listen, that comes down to putting your big boy pants on down the stretch. You got to just make the free throw, calm your nerves down. At the end of the day, listen, offensively, we did enough. We got to get some stops. We got to get some rebounds. We got to have some pride, especially like Hugs is known for defense. His teams are known for defense. So those percentages you just threw out, that's unheard of for a Hugs team.
For Bob Huggins, yes.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the chemistry. Are we bought in? What's our identity? All of those things. And I mean, how many games are we gonna keep saying about the free throws? Eventually you got to step up. I mean, and Joe missed two big ones late. As your point guard, definitely can. You got to step up to that line and make free throws. Mitchell missed a few, and that's what's back to what we're saying. that's a big difference. And I think we're making a lot of drastic changes when we could be 4-1. Once again, we could be 4-1 and we just made free throws. So eventually, players got to step up and make plays, make free throws.
No, Jared, I totally agree. And the thing about the free throw, the late Gary McPherson, as I said from another podcast we had before, was you got to get it up to get it in.
Yep.
Hit the back of the rim.
Yep.
And it just takes a little time, and I don't know what to say about free throws. I mean, I think different coaches have different ways of getting into your head. Get up there, relax. I remember we played UNLV when we beat them when they were number one, and I was about like a minute into the game, and all of a sudden I saw the light from the camera come up. As far as I'm like, please don't throw an air ball. Please don't throw an air ball. I don't know if you guys have gone through that before, but I did.
Well, I've thrown air blocks, meaning I missed the blocks through the air. But I will tell you this, DP. Okay, so what can Bob Huggins do? Does he have to stand there and watch him? Because is it about you can hit 100 after practice, but is it about your focus on that one-time shot? I mean, do you need to get there and say, listen, dude, I'm like breathing on your neck? I don't know. I'm asking.
It's a combination of what everybody said. I didn't shoot free throws well in college. And once I started hearing about it more, I heard about it, the more anxiety I had about it. Because, like you said, we're humans. So we listen to everything. We like now is the internet. So you see it in the internet. I used to look at it in the newspapers. We played my senior year, we played Robert Morris, and that cost us a game. And ever since then, I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And we went on our streak. And then, once I became a pro and became a man, my focus became different. But you don't see it in the papers no more. When people keep riding on your negative, this keep being negative. It's all West Virginia, not all West Virginia fans, but everything is right now about West Virginia has been negative. I had to go on somebody's tweet the other day. Why everything is so negative? The voice of Morgantown. Why is everything so negative? So if you want recruits to come in here, they see that they're not going to come. The guys that's watching that, then they're going to feel some kind of way when they go perform. You know what I mean? The execution at the end of the game has to get better. They have to hit free throws. So what we did, when I did as a coach at Georgetown, they had to make 50 before they came to practice. Throughout the day, they had to make 50. Then make another number before they leave. Don't sit there and watch them and make them run every time they miss a shot. Just let them in the gym. Let them relax. Let's, like Jared said, sometimes just got to relax and go in there and make them. And your concentration has to be better. I don't think these guys are these guys are good shooters. There's no reason nowadays why guys are missing shots like they're missing, because they have access to the gym 24/7.
Wow.
I didn't see a gym until I was in the 8th grade. You know what I mean? So these guys have access to a gym, and they got people rebounding for them. And they just got to concentrate and make it.
Hey, Darryl, and I know damn well you weren't up there when we had the new practice facility they have up there. If you had that in access, would that be a different story?
It would have been a whole different story.
Yeah, it would have been nice for sure. But let's go with two guys that I want to focus on some positivity going on here. And let's go ahead and throw this out here and look at this there. You got Mitchell and Toussaint, who had a good game. Mitchell's been playing straight up, man. I don't care what you say about Trey. He had 16 points in the game. And Toussaint had 14. Toussaint had 10 in the first half. I don't think I saw him until 10 minutes in the second half. I don't know. Is that true or not? Go ahead, Jay West.
Both of those guys played very well. And I know we've talked about pecking order, A, B, C player. I thought down the stretch of the game, and Prue can speak more to this, I don't think anybody should ever finish a game 7 for 8. Like, if you were 7 for 8, that means you should finish the game 7 for 12, 7 for 13, because we should be riding you a little more. And the last 3 possessions of the game, we got him on the block, and if we just give him the ball, he's shown that he's going to score one-on-one, or if they double, then we go wide open 3 on the outside. I think that comes down to execution, knowing what we're trying to get accomplished. And instead, I think Emmett took a run floater going right. and Stevenson took the fadeaway 3 over 2 people. So Trey probably was referring to those 2 shots when he said people may be trying to do too much. Like we got to understand who needs to get the ball late. And I think Mitchell played well. I thought Toussaint made big shots in the first half to kind of keep us afloat. But we got to have a better idea of who needs to get the ball down the stretch.
DP, go ahead.
He's right, but I think 16 points is not good enough. You that guy. I think he's the number one option. It's 16 is not enough. You know what I mean? That means he made 14 points and hit 2 free throws. It's not enough. Need more. And I think that's what people have been talking about. I know Larry was talking about before. We need more out of him. You need more out of Trey Mitchell. He needs to take over a game. And it just can't be 16. Why not be 25? Just like he said, shoot more. If you're 7 for 8, shoot more. Ask for the ball. Demand the ball. I think Tim said that about Bell before, but it's Trey Mitchell. He needs to get the ball more and be more aggressive in trying to score. Toussaint's 14 is great off the bench. That's a good number to come off the bench and have 14 points off your bench from one guy. As your starter, your number one guy, to get 16 and say he had a good game, I'm not believing that. Yeah, he got that's an okay game.
Okay, but let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. Then he wasn't the number one guy. Stevenson was the number one scorer for the first half of the season so far.
Because he wants to. There's a difference. He wants to be that guy.
Right, but what I'm saying is, Trey just figuring that out right now.
No, I think.
I don't think Trey has a want to.
No, I've always been a big fan of Stevenson, but I think he tries to do too much at one time.
Mm-hmm. Let's be real about Stevenson. Stevenson is just a streaky guy.
Yeah, he is.
Mitchell has the total package. He can score on the inside. He has patience. He can shoot the 3. You know what I mean? He can.
It depends on where his head is at the time of the game.
But that's not the point. It's not Stevenson is just a streaky guy. If he's on, he's on. There's a whole lot of games where he's just been shut down. Mitchell has the most talent.
It depends on where his head is.
Against the lesser teams, yes. Against these high-power athletes, he's not the same guy. And Mitchell has shown he can do it against both. He just don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. So then let's go here and move on to someone else. Keidron Johnson is a senior, and he's well known for his guarding. But when you look at this, and I'm going to go right to you, Jared, as you see here, he took it and he did the dribble penetration and did some really good stuff. Do we need more Keidron Johnson doing this stuff?
Well, so that's a loaded question.
Okay.
Point guard. Okay. The stat that you just said about Toussaint scoring 14 and Keedy going to the basket. So my first stat I looked at is Keedy and Toussaint combined for, I think, 1 or 2 assists. So that tells me we need a point guard. And that tells me at the end of games. So once again, if I'm a point guard and Gordon Malone is 7 of 8 from the floor, guess what? I'm throwing the ball to Gordon Malone on the block. If Damian Owens is 7 to 8 from the floor, I'm getting Damian Owens the ball. We don't have a floor leader who has the basketball IQ to understand where, who, why, what. And so when I mentioned Joe a couple times, not that I dislike Joe's game. We don't need Joe to score 14, 16 points. We need Joe to get his 8 to 10 and get his 5 to 6 assists to make sure the other people are getting their points. And I think that's a major problem with what we have with this team. We don't have who's the point guard, who's distributing, who's setting people up. We don't have.
Hey, Jared, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Toussaint as far as being a team leader? Do you think he's got the capabilities?
Toussaint? Yeah, I think his energy is good. He defends well.
Darryl shaking his head no.
I mean, he's a senior now. He is who he is. He's the same way where he was. The guy here is playing the same way. So it's not, some of his development coaching, you know what I mean? Like even coaching, like we got to talk about that. This guy's 7 for 8. Why are we not going back to him?
Exactly right.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Well, good. Well, I just want to tell you, I don't know, I want to say it's Jay West. I really think that I was going for a layup and he just swatted it down.
No,
You did it a nice way to me, and you're strutting.
well, as a guard, he's right, but Johnson has been playing good. You know what I mean? Like he's just not what you want him to be, like Jared wants him to be. He's just not the guy. But he's been pretty decent. Like when he was gone, the team was like a little off. When he came back,
I'm a big Kearney Johnson guy. I'm a big Kearney Johnson.
I hear you, man. I hear
together.
But
He
but,
just
but, but,
he
but he has been
he's just not like Noel from Kansas State. You know what I mean? Like that's what Jared is talking about. We need somebody like that.
needs to be more consistent.
All right. And with that being said, I'm going to tell you right now, Dan Cava, Toyota World. You got to shop the world, baby. Danny Cava. He's your Toyota dealer in Fairmont, West Virginia. You know Danny's out there shopping somewhere. And, of course, we got Country Roads Trust, West Virginia's name, image, and likeness team, changing the game for WVU student athletes. Wilson Martino, I think Jay West goes there because he's got that perfect smile, perfect teeth there. Wilson Martino, Dental Man, they will get you going to what you need to do when it comes to your dentist issues. Wilson Martino Dental. And, of course, our top sponsor, our team sponsor, that is Parmar Stores. If there's not another Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon. I didn't even read it. I memorized it, and we're moving on because we got some big old great stuff.
How you say it? Dale?
I'm going to ask again. You need to find a pepperoni roll company to sponsor your fucking.
Well, I'm getting hungry right now, so I'm going to move on, Timmy, because I tell you what, we got a video breakdown. The Mountaineers scored 44 points in the paint, and I thought this was the first time I really saw them going at it. But I'm going to start off with you, Tim, because I want you to tell me what you saw with the Mountaineers going in there and scoring in the paint. They looked like they had a plan, man, and Jimmy Bell's up there playing hard. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jimmy Bell's playing well. But like I said, they just need to concentrate on pounding it inside, throw it up the outside. And like I said, Jimmy Bell's been doing the outside, been doing well. But what's his name coming in? I don't remember.
Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad. Yeah.
Well,
he's been doing a good job, but he needs to step up a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, Muhammad, he did take that nice. He went down, man. He went down hard on his back. He got there, and he got the what would he call that? I'm drawing a blank. Go ahead, DP. Tell me what he did. He got the
charge.
Yeah. Thank you. I forgot. My brain, man, is all dysfunctional right now. But he took the charge. Hey, he took it full on, man.
Yeah.
No, he does a good job. He gives you an honest effort. It's just like Tim said. He's just not polished in the post yet. I don't know. Even Bell. You know what I mean? Like Bell's not polished in the post. He can make some post moves. He turns over that shoulder well, but before he came here, he was 340 pounds. So how much did he play before he got here? You know what I mean? So it's now you want guys to be a consistent scorer. Sometimes you got to grow into that situation, and I don't think throwing it to him consistently all game helps. I don't think people want to throw it to him. Stevenson want to shoot. We don't have no playmakers. As Jared said, point guard. Not getting certain people the ball. They just run the play and try to read off of that. And we just not let's reading the game right.
I thought that was a nice play there to Matthews.
That was a great. That was
there.
Yeah, that was a great play.
That's my point right there. Down the stretch, if you feed Mitchell on the block, good thing happened every time he touched it. So keep milking. Why are we going away from it? Don't even give the players opportunity to freelance. We're running this play. We're giving the ball to Mitchell on the block, and we didn't do that the last 3 possessions.
Well, Jay West. Let me ask you then. Why? Hang on, please. Why is this though that they're attacking the paint? I haven't seen them attack the paint like this in the first 4 games of the Big 12.
Well, I think schematic.
Here's and you guys, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I think between Matthews and Mitchell, if those guys feed off each other, I think that's going to help Bell a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, as they were not attacking the first 4 games of the Big 12, and when against Oklahoma, they did.
Yeah, Oklahoma wasn't that big. I don't think they were that. I don't think they were that. Yeah, I don't think they were that big. I think they were might have been shorter than us.
Rose is 6'8". He's a stretch
Yeah,
forward.
he's right. Yeah,
Other
he's not
Rose is another
big,
stretch
big.
forward.
Yeah,
So we
so-
probably thought we had an advantage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this. Let me ask you this: teams are going man to man more than they're going more zone. Is that true? Number one, Darryl.
Against us, you mean?
Just in general, it seems that teams are going more man to man overall.
Yeah, I think they're trying to take away everyone's 3-point shot. I think, you know what I mean. I think a lot of teams shooting 3-pointers because of the analytics. So they're playing man, making you make a mistake. I don't know how good these ball handlers are, and I don't know how good some of these offensive sets are. Most it's just drive downhill and kick it out. So I think they're taking their chances on that.
Is it because that there's more athletes?
I kind of think it's more of a offset defense where it looks like a man, but it's a zone. Like a zone.
No, it's man. A lot of teams are playing man because again they're trying to run everybody off the 3-point line. Because now like Oklahoma, you couldn't play zone against them. Their centers are shooting threes. So you get 5 guys out there. So now you try to run everybody off the line. They don't want you shooting threes. You got all those guys shooting threes. So you don't want guys making open threes and stuff like that. So I think they try to speed people up to make you make a mistake and play out of that.
Okay, Jay West. So there's the play, the shot that Stevenson took. You wanted to go over the shot. So here you go, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Are you running it down?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not seeing it on my end.
All right, so he comes off. He comes off. I guess with double screen on the screen. Can you run it again?
Elevator screen.
Yeah,
Sure.
It looked like an elevator screen, but the elevator didn't close. Let me see.
Oh, that's the charge right there.
That's the
okay,
charge.
it's coming up. Hey, that's what he's charged. Look, he's a man.
Okay.
He's taking there. Here you go.
So they switched it. They switched it. He should have threw it back. And how much time was left on the clock? I didn't see how much time.
There's like a minute and a half. Or no, I'm sorry. That was like 15 seconds.
Yeah. I was. He didn't even square up. I don't think.
Right.
I think
my
he was
thing
surprised.
is, I think it goes back to what we're trying to get accomplished. If he comes off that elevator screen and he's wide open, by all means take it. But the second option is you see Emmett clearing and Mitchell on the block. Dump it in, 15 seconds. If your man doubles down, you probably get a wide open 3. If not, Mitchell's 1-on-1. He's 7 for 8. He's probably going to score and or get foul. Now we can go to overtime.
But the play was right, but the execution was horrible. It's
Right.
like the elevator screen. They didn't screen nobody. They probably should have screened their own man. They didn't even do that. They're just walking around. There's no urgency. You know, like it's just okay, we're just gonna run the play. And that's what's like a lot of times what's wrong with these kids nowadays. You do drills and they go in the game. They go drill speed, not game speed. And in drill speed is no bodies. Now you got bodies out there. Now you got to play. You got to be a basketball player, and I don't think they're being basketball players.
All right, sorry, fellas, up there. Now listen, let's go ahead and take this over to TCU now because we have a lot to talk about with all this going on in the basketball. Well, this is Scotty now. This, of course, is Miles, and he is the preseason Big 12 player, and he's averaging 20 points. He's number 1. How are we gonna go ahead and stop him? When you look at him like this, I mean, he's all over. It's all transition a lot with his TCU team. They are flying. I'm watching them, man. And I think Hugs even said that they're kind of like the LA Lakers when they were all show, man, and just running down the court. I mean, this guy, Miles, who's going to defend him, Kearney?
No, I think it's going to be. It don't have to be Mitchell. He got some size. He's athletic. He can score in the paint a little bit. He'll back you down. He can drive by you. He can hit a shot. He's a problem. And Kansas State. TCU moves the ball well. Yeah. They don't hold the ball like West Virginia holds the ball. They move the ball around well. They throw a high low to the big guy. They'll get off the ball fast. They got active hands on defense. They'll share the ball. When he's going downhill, he's a problem. You know what I mean? It's just, we can't have turnovers. And he's athletic. I mean, he's an athletic, and that's how we want our guys, one of our forwards to play. Just one of them. Just be we need a guy that can drive it to the basket. You know, you would think Stevenson would be that guy, but since we played in the Big 12, I don't think he's drove a hard, got off one foot and got to the rim yet. You know what I mean? So, you know, we want our guys to do that, and we don't have nobody doing that.
What do you think there, Tim?
Now, I think it's going to be, and I've looked at numbers as far as it's either going to be Toussaint coming in off the bench or Smith coming off the bench to take care of him. I think from a body standpoint and everything else and physicality, I think that they can take care of him.
Well, you did.
I think it's going to be a team concept. 5 people got good team defense. Prue said the most important thing. I think our offense is going to affect our defense more. We take good shots, the floor balance, then we can get back and form a ball and try to combat that little fast break. We make turnovers, take bad shots, they play in transition. It's hard to guard a team like that. They have so many athletes they can run at you. And he's a stud. He's a stud. You got to walk on him. Any crease you give him, he's going to attack. They got shooters. They got athletes. And they want to play fast. They play fast when you make or miss. So it has to be team defense. I think it's either going to be Keedy or Emmett that start out. But like our offense is going to be just as important as to how we defend it. It's hard to run if they're taking the ball out of the basket. If we're missing guys taking bad shots, then they're going to stay in transition. We're going to have problems.
No, he's built like a little football. He's built like a little, running back. I mean, he's a tough kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, now this is TCU. Now they love to attack the paint. They got perimeter. They got it with the Emmanuel guy there. But right now, I'm seeing a lot in there with Lampkin. He's 6'11". DP. Start us off with that.
Yeah, he's a load. You know, he's going to be.
He can move, right?
Yeah, he's a problem. I mean,
high motor too.
Yeah, he got a high motor. He knows how to post up. He knows his angles. He's patient. You know, he moves up and down. He runs to the rim. He scores under the basket. It's gonna be a heavyweight boxing match under that rim, and so we'll see how the referees are gonna call on it because there's gonna be a lot.
Is that Jimmy?
Bumping and grinding.
That's Darryl. That's the biggest problem. How are the refs going to call this thing? Because I'll tell you what, you get Bellingham or you get Bellingham downside. The fouls. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, but this kid can play. He can play getting hit. He loves it. Look at he loves contact.
Yeah.
He know
well, so does Bell.
Yeah, I don't know. Bell is not as good as this kid.
Right. The biggest difference I see.
This kid is. He has a chance. He goes over both shoulders. He got moves. Bell got one move, and they throw it to him all the time.
I was just about to say the biggest difference I see is they're 4 out 1 in. They're actually looking for him. They're working together. Where when we run 4 out 1 in or motion, there's no chemistry. There's no rhyme or reason for what we're trying to do. And he knows how to play ankles, high low. He gives a good target, and he plays with his body. He's got a good touch. So, I mean, they actually use him.
Well, my big concerns are on the forward side, with TCU. As far as Miller and Bog, I mean, I think there's going to be 2 big matchups there with Trey and Emmett up against those 2. I mean, you're looking at over, 20-plus points between 2 of them and the rebounds and everything else. I think those 2 matchups are going to be key.
Okay, cool. I hear you. Now watch it. I have not seen this from any team thus far, and I've seen them. They've all said you got to get back for transition, but this is kind of unreal. When you sit there, you watch this, and you come out, and they are just down the court, and he turns it on, and they just go. They just go. Am I right or am I wrong, DP?
No, you're right. That's the way Kansas used to play. Kansas and North Carolina. They just run it down your throat. Run it down your throat. Run it down your throat.
That's Lampkin right there running.
Yeah.
You saw him. He's sprinting down the court.
Right. Bell does not do that. You know what I mean? Like, he'll catch up. But look at him now. He's right there in the play. He's always in the play. Watch him. He's always in the play. And them guys get up and down that floor. If we get frustrated, we like to point fingers. They're not pointing fingers. They are running. They don't get. They are getting out. They're trying to score.
Make or
a
miss.
lot of easy baskets. What do you say, Jared?
Make or miss. They get out quick and they go.
Yeah. They
Well,
don't want you to set up for defense.
Hey guys, I gotta ask a question. If you have a basketball court that's ugly, wouldn't it make you dizzy as a player playing on that damn court?
Sometimes watching it on TV makes me a little different.
Especially when they come out, those uniforms are kind of like that same camouflage approach. There's no doubt.
I'm sorry,
Right.
but that's got to be the most disgusting court I've ever seen in my life.
You know, like with them also offensively, they cut. You know, they're good cutters. They're good passes. They're good cutters. They got post play. You know, I don't think we cut. You know, we had the one play when Mitchell got the ball in the post and his man doubled and Matthews' man doubled. He ran to the rim. We don't do enough of that. They naturally do it. They always cutting, getting curls and rolling around. But they're a really good passing team. They don't hold the ball long.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like Kansas too, though, for a lot of that, for that matter. But okay, so let's move on to the keys then. Tim, I want to start with you. WVU's attack. You've seen their defense. They're more man-to-man, but it looks to me that they will do some zone stuff, and you guys can get into that. But how are you going to attack them? They're a smaller team, except for Lampkin, who's 6'11". How are you going to go ahead and attack them if you're WVU tonight?
I'll say it once again. Free throws have got to be key for West Virginia. And number two, for some reason, I don't know why, the backdoor cuts have killed us all season long. I mean, as far as the backdoor and no one covering it up, I mean, I just shake my head when I see that. It's ridiculous. That and also our screening and what we're doing on the offensive side needs to change. Get back to fundamentals.
Jay West, you saw them attack the paint, 44 points in the paint. Okay. Is that viable against TCU?
Oh, I don't think scoring would be an issue tonight. The way fast-paced the game is going to be, the amount of possessions that each teams get. Once again, this is going to come down probably to the late game, last 5 minutes of the game, who executes the best, who makes free throws. I will tell you this, if we don't take good shots and get back and have good floor balance, they can score 90 or 100. Last week I said Baylor was going to score 80, however you slice the pie, and they scored 83, I think. This team here can score 90. They play fast. And I'm not saying defense is optional, but, you know, they just want to get you in a pace where we're playing fast. So offense won't be our issue. Are we going to be good defense? Or are we going to get back and have good floor balance and have 5 against the ball? Because if it's one-on-one, then you're going to see a lot of foul shots on their end because they play so fast.
Okay, let me ask you this, and I'm asking all you guys, because I don't know this. But when they play so fast, I know when other sports you play fast, you're not thinking, you're just getting lined up, you're trying to play basic. Are they trying to, with all that transition, flying down the court, are they trying to get you out of your game so you're not thinking, and so that you're not doing your fundamentals? Go ahead, anyone.
All you got to do is hit somebody in the face with your elbow. It'll slow them down.
Yeah, but so I think
I've been waiting for that comment, Tim, for 5 games.
Yeah,
No,
I just think they're really good. You know what I mean? I think they're athletic and they're really good. Yeah, I think them playing fast is how they play. You know, they want to get up and down. Like they're a good passing team. You know what I mean? They're not a great defensive team, but they're good. They got active hands. They always reaching. They always poking at the ball. You know, they always getting their hands on the ball. So you got to be a strong, ball handling team. And they're banking on you not being. So, they're running out to a full court press. They double it and hope they're always running. They're always moving. Even on the offensive end, they're always cutting. And they're in very good shape. And I've heard Huggies say, we can't press like we used to because we don't have that many guys to play. That team, it don't bother them because they're run up and down the floor, both ends of the floor. You score, they don't care. They throw it out, get it down court before you get back. So I just think that's how they play. It's just, you got a bunch of athletes that know how to play. That look like they're playing fast, but in their minds they're playing slow. Yeah. They're not turning the ball over a lot.
Darryl, I got to ask you a question. do we not have the talent to do the old press Virginia type of scenario right now?
I think you already know the answer to that one, Tim. It's like we don't.
I know that answer.
No,
Yeah,
I want to know
no.
your opinion on it.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, like, they sacrifice offense for defense.
Right.
So
I think
we're a better offensive team than we were last year.
Right.
Yeah, and you getting guys, you getting other, just like, kids and adopting kids and stuff like that. You get other people's problems. So we got other people's problems, and you're trying to make it work. You get one or two guys to try to make it work. You build through getting freshmen and stuff like that and build them up. But then you got, then you get a senior or two to help lead you. We got 4 or 5 seniors from 5 different places, and we got other people's problems. They're not used to playing like this, and the schools they came from don't play like Hugs defensive, guys. So now you're trying to, put a circle and a square, and it doesn't.
We had the old 2-2-1 press there when I played. I know you went through it as well, and it worked well as far as trapping in the corners. Can we not do something like that?
But the time that they're getting the ball out so fast, they won't let you set up in the press.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you do have to score.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. But even after made baskets, teams are getting it out fast. Now you got to pick your poison. And Hugs is not a 2-2-1 guy. He's more of an in-your-face man-to-man guy. You know what I mean? Or the 1-3-1. So you can't change your principles if that's not who you are.
All right.
I said earlier. I think it goes back to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jared.
I was just saying, I think it goes back to what's our identity. We don't really know who we are. We used to be a pressing team, a defensive team, a rebounding team. Now Stevenson is more offensive minded. Mitchell's a more finesse, skilled player, more offensive minded. We used to be all defense, and now we're giving up 85 points, and that's not who we are. That's not who Hugs is. But what's our identity? This team's identity is to create pace and play as fast as possible, and they're true to their identity. Make miss, they're going to push the ball. They know exactly who they are. I don't think we know who we are. Are we a defensive-minded team? Are we an offensive-minded team? What are we? We don't know.
And we're not that good on offense. That's the sad.
Well, no, then you got, how many transfers coming in, portal and all that stuff, trying all the guys to gel with one another.
Okay, so we know the problems. Now the solution for tonight is Jay West.
I wish it was that easy that you could just turn that switch on and say the solution. But I think the keys to winning tonight is, once again, we have to limit their transition fast break points. We have to limit live ball turnover. We have to get 5 people back on defense and make them shoot over the top of us. Because if it's a transition game, if it's a 94-foot game, that's not to our advantage. We have to keep the ball in front, limit lane, control their athleticism, which is going to be a hard task. And most importantly, our guys got to play like guys. Stevenson's got to, you can't sugarcoat it. He's got to play better. Mitchell, he can't beat 7 for 8, like Prue said. We need someone to get 20, 25 points. We need someone to get 16, 18 points. Then we need someone to get 12 or 13 points. Our guys got to be guys. So that's where.
Okay. Very good. I like what you have to say. And Tim, do you want to add on to that? You got something else to say? What do you got?
Well, as I always say on our show, score more points. Number one. But no, I think it's going to come down to the forward side of it. And I think between Trey and Emmett, as far as what they do, as well. And I really think, I'm going to say it again, Toussaint, he needs to be in the game and shut down, as far as Miles, as far as what he's doing.
DP?
I think they got to execute. And it can't be execution for 30 minutes of the game or 35 minutes. It got to be for the whole game, especially when it gets tight. Seems like, we used to say the pressure makes you fresher. And then we get pressure, we don't get fresher. We get kind of sour. Got to keep them off the offensive boards. They hit the boards pretty hard.
Yes.
Yeah, so they, we can't forget about that. Them forwards on the other team, they're not as big as ours, but they're kind of tough and athletic. And, with all the other stuff, and just like Jared said, we got to take care of the ball, good shots. We got to be deliberate. And I don't think we can be deliberate on our offense, just because of some of the sets we run. Toussaint, he has to come off and give us a lift. and I think everybody has to play well, and Emmett has to do something more.
Yep.
Trey has to do something more.
Yep.
Stevenson has to do a lot better and do more. You know what I mean? So it's just that.
Darryl, I'm going to say this on the line right now. Eric needs to get his head out of his goddamn ass right now. As far as he needs to be a player, and
they all do. And sometimes Tim, when guys play against high level guys, they show who they really are. When we played against we played against the Jerome Lanes and Charles Smiths of the world, we stepped up. And this is time for them guys to step up. When Jared played against the guys he played against, when it was his time for the step up, they stepped up. So so this he has to step up. All those guys,
you got to be a man. You stand up and
you got to step up.
You got to have the cojones. Cojones, baby. You got to do it.
No, I'm serious.
No, we call it this. Some people hearts this small, some are very big, and a lot of those guys are not showing like they have a big heart.
Well, let me finish it up with this.
Dale, I told you a story before. My freshman year when we played Ohio State, you went to 3 overtimes, right?
Yep.
I got in the game as a freshman. I was 6'11", maybe 210. And Herb Williams came down the floor, slapped me in the face. He goes, "You ready to play some basketball, boy?" All right.
How did you respond?
You got to put on your big boy pants, okay? It was Clark Kellogg, Herb Williams, and we went to 3 overtimes with them.
Just know this, okay? When Stevenson apparently was in the hospital, so that means that he had to get some IVs in his arm. When I had to go to the hospital and get IVs in my arm, I came out like a boom. I came out ready to go. So Stevenson's my pick to click tonight because he's got the IVs. He's ready to roll. Let's go, Mountaineers. We got to go, guys. Great show. Great job. All of your input, our expertise. We appreciate you. It's Mountaineer Hardcourt legends. Jay West, Jared West, Tim Kearney, Darryl Prue. Thank you so much. Let's go beat TCU. Let's go, Mountaineers. Let's go, Coach Huggins. There we go. And we are out.
Good luck, Mountaineers.
Destined for greatness. My name is written in stars, and I will give everything, all that I have to the cause. Fight against evil, run through the pain, battle it all, this is more than a game. I am a lion and I can't be tamed, it's how it was made, this ice in my veins, run through it all. No matter the odds, I will answer the call, the enemy knocks on the door. Even the greatest among us will fall, but the greatest will get back up. So I won't back down, and I won't give up, and I will act now, and I will stand up. They know that I'm here for it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up, no matter what's in my way. Rise up, I will do what it takes. I will keep on fighting. I'll rise through it all. Rise up.
No matter what it is you need, you'll find it at your local Par-Mar store. From gas to grocery, snacks, and everything else you always seem to run out of, Par-Mar stores has it. Need more savings? Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. You won't only see our stores in your neighborhoods, you'll see us in your neighborhoods too. We are proud to be in your town and proud to be a part of the community. Come see us at Par-Mar stores, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Wilson Martino Dental. Did you know that 95% of our dentists have graduated from WVU? And many former players and WVU coaches trust Wilson Martino Dental with their oral health. The Mountaineers and Wilson Martino Dental. Yeah, we do that.